I want to show y'all this breaking news here. Breaking news, breaking news. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like as you come in. Breaking news, breaking news. There we go right there, people. Y'all see it? That's from Mary Harvey's sister that just DM'd me. We've been in communication. And she said, I just had to take my sister Mary. Mary said, I just had to take my sister Mary to the emergency room. And if anything happens to her, I'm blaming you and Essie. Now what me and Essie got to do with Mary going to the emergency room? What me and Essie got to do with Mary telling lies and contradicting herself? What me and Essie got to do with the fact that Essie contacted me? I mean that Mary contacted me, not Essie. Mary contacted me this weekend. I didn't ask for Mary. Mary's done enough interviews and talked enough, and quite honestly, Essie has enough, so many damn audio recordings. We didn't really need to hear nothing else from Mary, to be quite honest. Mary has said it. Mary has said everything. Mary has said everything. All right. So we're going to break it down and get into it. And I keep saying Mary said, because I know she hate when we say that. I know she hate that. She can't stand it. That's okay, though. That's okay. So let's go ahead and put a picture up here. I know y'all ain't forgot what Mary Harvey looks like. It's pretty hard to find a picture of her. But, you know, I mean, there she go with Steve back in the day. The second wife. It is what it is. Okay, so let's get right on into it. Mary called me this weekend, all right? She called me from a private number, and she wanted to let me know that she's seen the videos. She's heard everything that Essie has said and the things that are being said on the internet. And Mary was concerned because she told me that the things that Essie and I have discussed online are impacting people that I'm not even aware of. Mary goes on the phone and she says, are you aware of the possible ramifications of what's been discussed on your show? Are you aware of how many heads that are rolling behind the scenes? And I'm going to be quite honest with you. Was I aware? And not really. Did I give a damn? No, not really. I didn't. I didn't really give a fuck. And y'all might be saying, Storm, why wouldn't you care? Because there's been a few of y'all to ring my telefono. ¿Cuál es tu telefono? A lot of y'all have ring my telefono asking me, am I scared? Am I concerned? Do y'all know how many people we have called out on this show? Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce. We love Beyonce, but we called out too. Do y'all know the type of topics we have discussed on this show? Harvey Weinstein, CBS. We talked about all the CBS, the stuff behind the scenes. What? Why am I concerned about Steve? No shade to Steve. But of all the shit that's been said about him, why should I be worried? Just let me know. Now, Steve is, of course, welcome to hit the link, and Steve is, of course, welcome to come on the show. But let's get right on into it. So, Mary called me and she said, I just want to let you know that I know you've been talking to Essie, and I thought that Essie was my friend, but apparently me and Essie were never friends. Mary claims that all of those recordings that Essie has of her was recorded without her permission. Mary claims that she had no idea that she was being taped, and she thought that she was just venting to a friend. But Mary went on to say that she regrets doing any interview, and she regrets ever talking to anybody because it didn't help bring her baby home, and there was no point. Now, I disagree with that. I don't think that you should regret it because it didn't necessarily bring your baby home. I just think that you should have fought harder for your baby. I think you should have been more focused on your baby. I think you should have been more focused on your baby. And by her baby, we're talking about Winton. You should have been focused more on Winton than the money. And things might have turned out a little different. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's no shade, but that's all I'm saying. So then Mary went on to say, Essie, and the things she have said, 99% of the things that Essie has said are false. That's what she said. 99% of what Essie has said is false. However, as the conversation went on, Mary went on to confirm 99% of what Essie said. So let's get right on into it. Mary was most upset about the fact that Essie and I discussed the Bill Cosby story. Now, what's the Bill Cosby story? It was a story that allegedly that Mary and Steve went to Bill Cosby and Camille Cosby's home, that Mary was offered some wine, that Bill Cosby had the jelly pudding pop, the wop, pop smile, and he took her to the back room and thought he was going to get some action. And she said, hell nah, nigga. And then she left, and she left Steve there with Bill and Camille, only for Steve to allegedly come back home the next day with his drawers stinking and him stinking, smelling like shit. That was a story, allegedly, right? And she says that ain't true. She says that was a figment of Essie's imagination and that's just not how it happened. She said Camille was not even there. Steve and I went to Bill's house by ourselves. She said that Bill never offered me a glass of wine. We just talked. And Steve and I were in such awe that he even knew who we were, and we were just honored to be at his house. Now, let me ask y'all something. What is Bill, Steve, and Mary gonna do alone in a house? Does that even make sense? Does that even make sense? So two niggas and you sat up in the house and talked about what? And then you left your husband there to do what? Because you already admitted that he didn't come home until the next morning. But you said when he came home the next morning, he didn't smell like nothing. He just smelled normal. I just want to know. You tell me. Because Steve and Bill, those are old school men. And actually, back in the day, when men got together, if it was going to be that kind of situation where it was just two men smoking cigars with some whiskey, which is probably what happened. That sounds about right. You feel what I'm saying? Mary would not have even been invited. It just would have been Bill and Steve talking about business, talking about the business, and whatever else they had to discuss. But for the simple fact that Bill invited Steve and Mary to his home, which Mary confirmed on the phone with me, it only makes sense that Camille was there as well. It only makes sense. It only makes sense. Why Mary was so concerned about that part of everything that was said, I don't know. But she claims that if this got back to Camille, that it would just be so detrimental to Camille and Bill, as if Bill ain't been on trial for allegedly drugging how many women and getting on top of them with the do-wop pop sideways smile with the eye that's going to the left and the eye that's going to the right, one going east and one going west. As if we don't already know that it was Hugh Hefner that really threw Bill Cosby under the bus because he had so much shit on Bill Cosby, and Hugh Hefner wanted to make sure that the FBI didn't take down his own operation. So it was still a white man that took him down in the end from the grave in heaven or hell or purgatory, wherever the hell Hugh Hefner is. Anyway, y'all can believe what y'all want about that. I then went on to ask Mary. I said, Mary, Essie brought receipts. Essie brought audio recordings. Some we have published and some we have not. She went on to say that anything you've heard my voice on or any paperwork that you see that I've signed my name to, you can take it as truth. I said, it was your voice on the recordings, correct? Well, yes, it was. You want to know how I know it's her voice? Because Mary couldn't distinguish her voice if she tried to. She couldn't mask her voice if she tried to. It's a very, I don't know how to describe Mary's voice. It's kind of long and drawn out like mine. Little deep and little sneaky and mischievous at the same time. No shade to Mary, but you definitely couldn't hide your voice if you wanted to. So anyway, like I said, Mary maintains that she was recorded without permission and went on to threaten Essie with possible imprisonment. She said that I hope Essie knows that warrant that she has in Texas, that warrant ain't going nowhere. And as long as Essie continues to talk, the warrant definitely ain't going away. Mary went on to say that, hey, I did my time in jail, but Essie is deathly afraid of going to jail. Now, I feel if Essie was deathly afraid of going to jail, Essie wouldn't do no interviews. Essie would just go away. She would just go away and we would never hear from Essie again, or she would never speak Steve's name again. So I don't think Essie that's scared. And Essie really don't strike me as nobody that's scared. Let me tell you guys something about Essie. Essie is the same on the camera and off the camera. Okay. So the more and more that I talked with Mary, what I got down, what I deduced is that Mary was just upset with Essie because of a video where Essie said that Mary was never my friend. But Mary, there is no way that you ever could have been Essie's friend the way that you threw her under the bus. The way that when y'all was, fighting to get interviews and fighting to get a show, and you really use Essie as your bulldog. You told them white folks behind Essie's back that she's nothing but ghetto trash. And that after you get your money, after you get your $60 million out of Steve, you're going to dump her on the side of the road. So you're a user and a manipulator. And the more and more that I spoke to you, Mary, what I deduced, Mary said, oh, she couldn't stand that shit. Mary said, I deduce that really there's not much of a difference between Marjorie and Mary. One just dressed better and looked better and did it better. That's it. Mary and Marjorie low-key is the same person. Mary ain't all that innocent. Marjorie damn sure ain't innocent. I don't know nothing about the first wife, but as far as I'm concerned, we know Steve ain't innocent. But as far as I'm concerned, the only victim in all of this is Winton. Winton got the short end of the stick in this whole fucking family. He got a daddy that's an open narcissist, and he got a mama that's a closed narcissist. I don't know which is worse, somebody that do this shit in your face or somebody that do it behind your back. I don't know. That's what I deduce. That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Mary went on to say that she don't understand why Essie is so worried about what Steve called her and that Steve called her a co-conspirator. She said, I don't know why Essie cares. Steve has called me a lot of things, and my name is bigger than hers. I don't care, so neither should Essie. Now, I'll let y'all argue on who got the bigger name. Who y'all think got the bigger name? Is it Mary Harvey, who's now Mary Vaughn, or is it Essie Berry? Y'all let me know. Mary did confirm that the alleged child abuse, I can't say alleged because it's in the paperwork, that the child abuse from Steve to Winton is true. She did not deny that, and I said it ain't no denying that because we got paperwork. It is true that Steve pulled Winton out of college, out of FIU, the same college that Lori went to shortly before she actually dropped out, all because he found out that Winton was back in contact with Mary and pulled him out in the middle of the night, 3, 4 in the morning. Oh, we're going to get into that next. So that was definitely true. All right. All in all, Mary wants the public to know that she hates that Mary said, because she claims she never said it, even though we have it on recording. She also wants to know that she is not weak and to tell Essie that she will speak when she wants to speak. She said that I don't understand this vendetta that Essie has against Steve. And I got quiet for a minute. I said, And then she went on to say, Essie is just so obsessed with this and she won't let this go, and I don't know why. And I said, well, wait a minute. What about all the stalking and the bullying and the text messages and the YouTube videos made against her over the years and the doxing and the fact that she had to change her life, all because she was advocating for you, only for you behind the scenes on several different projects to say that Essie was nothing but ghetto trash and that you was just using her to fight your battles. You used Essie because you knew Essie had the backbone that you didn't. The truth of the matter is Essie fought harder for Winton than Mary did. Mary was only concerned about the money. Mary was always concerned about the money, and Mary had other issues, which is why Steve moved on and just went with Marjorie, who looked better on his arm and knew how to handle business. And did not have mental health issues behind the scenes. So Steve wasn't all the way wrong for leaving Mary. He just didn't have to do her the way that he did. But like I said, ain't nobody innocent in this. The only innocent one is Winton. We ended that call with Mary saying, look, yes, Essie has been stalked and bullied and harassed. She has. And by saying that, Mary, you inadvertently confirmed that at least some of those texts and videos and YouTube videos over the years that Essie was a victim of, that it was somebody on Steve's team, if not Steve himself. But from what you said, Mary, you like, look, hey, okay, fine. If she wants to fight that battle, fine. But just keep my name out of y'all mouth. So that's how we left that. So before we get into the Winton part of the story, what do y'all think?
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.